Hello everyone, this is our next video of Fortinet NSE4 series, and this video is a continuation video of security fabric. So let's begin the video. Synchronizing objects across the security fabric. So let's understand this one also. So by default, object synchronization is enabled in security fabric settings. So this is the command config system CSF set configuration sync default set fabric object unification default. So this command is by default enabled. So there are few parameters which we can modify as per our requirement. The first would be the fabric object unification, this one. So here we have the I would say two terms. The first one is the default and second is the local. So in default, global CMDB objects are synchronized with the security fabric, means that all objects will be synchronized to the security fabric. Second will be the local. Global CMDB objects are not synchronized to and from this device. So from this device it will not synchronize to the security fabric. Also, this command is only available for root FortiGate. We know that we have the we can create the vdoms, so we can only enter this command in root domain on the FortiGate. Second is the configuration sync for the downstream FortiGate. So this is the upstream FortiGate and this is for the downstream FortiGate. So on the downstream FortiGate we can use set configuration sync. So we have the two terms, that local and default. So the what default is saying, synchronize objects from the root FortiGate and configuration from FortiAnalyzer, sandbox and FortiManager. Local, do not synchronize configuration with root node. If downstream FortiGate devices are set to local, the synchronized objects from root to downstream are not applied locally. However, the downstream FortiGate devices send the objects to the FortiGate device further downstream. And the third one is the configure object edit name set fabric enable and disable. So object can address 6, address ADDR GRP and 6 service category. So basically these are the object type, means service network and all. And enable set objects as a security fabric enabled global object that is synchronized to the downstream FortiGate device. Disable set objects as a local security fabric member. So these three things it is needed for the security fabric configuration, and these are the sub commands. For the first one is the for root devices, means that upstream devices. Second is for the downstream devices, and this is the local firewall devices. So based on our requirement we can set to the default or we can set to the local, and default and local here enable or disable. So as per the requirement we can do the configuration. Here we can see, let's say we have the issue like a synchronizing objects across the security fabric. So we can see, we have seen the one of the issue like one firewall object is conflict with other FortiGate in fabric, means that let's say you have a two FortiGate and the object name would be the test, okay, which is here it is showing test. So on the two FortiGate you have same object name called test and called test. Okay, so now while adding after this configuration, means that this object which is present onto to FortiGate firewalls, we can see this conflict message. How we can resolve it? So first you have to click this notification. Here we have option automatic or manual. Click on the automatic, and the following objects required manual intervention in order to synchronize with the fabric. Click rename all object to the automatically restore or conflicting by renaming them. So strategy would be the automatic, so you can do automatic or manually. Automatic rename on the downstream FortiGate. So this one of the object conflict mismatch, and this is the conflicting FortiGate. So in the step number 3, click on the you have to click on this rename all objects. Once you click the rename objects, the test would be named as the DCFW, which is the firewall name, to resolve this conflict which is available on 240 gate firewalls. So after this resolved, status is resolved, you can see the no notification at this time. So basically it is needed to resolving the conflicts for the same object which is present on the multiple devices. And then that third topic would be the device identification, agentless versus agent. So how FortiGate identifies the devices? So it is useful for the security fabric, also for the topology view. Requires direct connectivity to the FortiGate, means that whatever you have PC server or Linux machines, those are required to the directly connected, means that we don't need any router. Let's say this is your router, and in router behind you have switches, and then you have multiple devices. So in this case, and after behind you have switch, and then you have the router, FortiGate, sorry. Then in this case, FortiGate will not identify these devices because router is present between the communication. It is like preventing for the device identification, not for communication prevent. Communication will happen, but for the device identification I'm talking about. So now how like FortiGate identifies this? There are the multiple methods to identify the device identification. The first would be the HTTP user agent. So using the HTTP user agent, TCP fingerprinting, MAC address, vendor codes. So we know that every vendor is having their unique codes which is present on the MAC addresses, and Microsoft browser services, CPU user agent. So basically these are the mechanism to identify the device identification which is used by the FortiGate. Now there are the other things. Let's say one device is identified by the TCP fingerprinting, then further identification will not happen. The thing is, it is working on first come first serve. So means that if that TCP fingerprint, using the TCP fingerprinting, if device is identified, then further identification will not happen for the particular device. And second is the Forti client. So Forti client is simple. The agent or PCs, they have installed the Forti client. So using the Forti client will send that information to the FortiGate for the device identification. So that is basically on the agent. So on the agent list, these are the method which is available for the device identification. Let's move further. So this is the external connector, means that let's say you have a requirement to connect to the ACI, means that Cisco ACI product. So you can connect that for the topology, for that objects, for that other work. You can integrate your FortiGate with that security centric infrastructure ACI, or others also like Azure and public SDN. You can connect it. So security fabric multi-cloud supports adds external connector to the security fabric configuration. So I can show you this one quickly. So if I log in on the FortiGate, where it is option it. So if you click here like external connector, first of all need to click on the security fabric, then external connector. So basically these are the other vendors which we need to connect. So here are the other vendors are there, like you can connect with the public SDN, AWS, Azure, GCP, Oracle, IBM and Alibaba Cloud. Why this public SDN connector is needed? Let's say you have deployed your FortiGate on the cloud environment. So on the cloud environment you have two FortiGate, correct? Once you have the two FortiGate and you have configured HA between these two FortiGate, so for that HA, these links will not connected to the physically. So we know that like in FortiGate they are using the virtual MAC, and that communication will happen. So for this HA communication, this SDN needed for the Microsoft Azure or AWS in GCP. So these are basically SDN connector. If you deploy your firewall on the cloud, so you can connect it with your AWS Azure accounts. So you can connect it, you have to define the access ID, secret, and it will connect it. Now there is another option, you can connect with to Kubernetes and ACI, Cisco ACI. So you have to type the name and Fortinet SDN connector or direct connection. So you have to select it, Fortinet and SDN connector, IP, port, and other information. So using that you can connect to with the third party devices like Cisco ACI, and other cloud services are there. So if you need to connect from external things, you can connect it based on the requirements. So the options are available. And the security fabric status widget, so basically this is the dashboard, security fabric widget dashboard. You can manage the things, like you can drag drop and which one is active, and also basically this is the dashboard, so you can manage the things based on the requirement. There is a no need to explain here. So once your all devices are connected, so you can get the security ratings, so which is available here also. If I go here security ratings, because I don't have a license, it is not showing security rating unavailable because of the license. So if you have that license, you will not face such issues. So once you connected that device, means that all devices are connected in security fabrics, and there is an option for security posture, and then FortiGuard outbreak protection, and then ISW fabric root. Basically in your security infrastructure or in security fabric, if you see any issues related to the security posture, you will get this in the notification tray, you will see it. You have to expand this security posture and you will get it. So once you expand it, you can see these are the issues, and result passed, failed, pass failed, like two-factor authentication failed, VLAN management passed. So these are the some information related to the security ratings. You can click it and you will get this information, so why it is come. So if you click on next, you will see the interface classification. On interface classification it is showing. So basically it is like a resolving or monitoring. So for all that kind of work you can do it. So let's quickly walk through from the FortiGate perspective. So here is the security fabric, and and in the security fabric, first is the topology. So in the topology you will get the all information of your devices, which is connected, which is not. So you will get that diagram of it. Logical topology you will get, then security rating I explain it. It is the automation things, you can do it. Fabric connector at it is there, like let's say you want to connect with the Fortianalyzer, then click on this Fortianalyzer tab, edit it, then enable it, then you have to type the Fortianalyzer IP address, then test connectivity. So it will take the connectivity test between FortiGate to the Fortianalyzer. So after connectivity is fine, it will connect it to the Fortianalyzer, and here are the cloud logging. So you can enable the cloud logging on the FortiGate cloud or not. So you can enable by cloud, if you can, it will reopen using the account. So others are options are there, Forti sandboxing, Forti manager. Let's say you want to connect this device on the Forti manager, then you have to click enable on-premise mode normal, and then type your FortiGate IP address, Forti manager IP address, and OK. You have to authorize this request from Forti manager as well in order to approve the request. So from in the case of Forti manager and manager, you have to first add it, and then it will send request to the Forti manager, and from Forti manager side you have to click accept it, and you have to create the templates and device settings, other things which is like belongs from the Forti manager side. So external connectors I already explained it, it is needed for the external connectivity. from the Microsoft Azure application ID client secret key. It is needed if you are deploying your FortiGate firewall on the cloud environment, so it is needed for the some activities which is needed. So that's it for this video, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and subscribe Firewall Expert for this kind of videos. Thanks for watching.